Hey there, my name is Brian, and I'm out here today by my outdoor air conditioner unit. I'm not real sure about the terminology. It's the condenser unit or the evaporator. It's the part of the central heat and air. I know there's parts of it that are upstairs in the attic, or if you have a different house layout that's down in the basement, but mine is up in the attic, and this is the outdoor unit that expels some of the heat in the process of cooling down the air conditioner and making it blow cool air. But I just wanted to bring this video to people because I got pretty much screwed, and this would have been last summer. Now it's summer now, and last summer it was very hot too, and so it was like 100 degrees and the humidity is super high here. So when it gets in the 95 up to 100, it's just really miserable. So anyways, I was going on a trip the next day, and my air conditioner just stopped working. Well, I've got pets in my house, and I cannot be gone for 3 or 4 days and have my house get up to 105 degrees in the house. So I was in a major panic. I looked online, and not the phone book, but the online phone book, and found a company, a reputable, serious company that is here in Dallas, is not terribly far away from me. So they send out a repairman, and they've got a special for like $59.99. Check your air conditioner out and make sure it's operating correctly. So I hire this guy, and he comes over to my house in a rush, which I needed. I had to get it done, and it was already hot, and my temperature was starting to climb in the house. And so he came in, he immediately knew what it was. So he came back to my backyard, and let me flip my camera around so it's not just me. And so here's my outdoor unit. And so he immediately kind of knew what it was. So he came out here and was doing his thing. And I'm a nosy person, and so I was out here just kind of watching him. And that's who I am. I like to be involved. And so he was working on it, hooking up some things like to make it look like he was doing something. And then he pulled out the capacitor, and I know what a capacitor is, basically from car stereo and stuff, with subwoofers and having a large capacitor. So here's the little capacitor that was taken out, and so he pulled that out, and I looked at it real quickly. I said, "Can I look at that?" And I took it inside and typed in the numbers on the internet. Found out it was $15 to $20 part, and I could get it right down the street. And so he, after me finding this out, I asked him how much the replacement part was, and he quoted me $250 for this capacitor, which was $15 or $16. And I flipped out. I was polite, and I told him, I said, I know your service is worth something. And I had a friend that I had just called on the phone too, and basically told me, he goes, "Man, I think that's a capacitor." But before I get off subject, what was happening to lead up to my air conditioner not working was the fan was turning on, but this compressor unit on the outside wasn't turning on. But I obviously went up in the attic, couldn't figure out anything, and I came outside, and the unit was humming, and a small or a buzzing sound like it was trying to turn on. And so that when I called my friend, he was like, "Man, that sounds like a capacitor." But he was like, he didn't live near me, so he couldn't come over and check it out. But he was like, "Man, that's probably what it is, And be aware of these air conditioner people. They will screw you in an instant." And I was like, yeah. And so anyways, he was back here working on hooking some things up. I got the capacitor, went inside. It's $15 or $16, and I told him I'm not going to pay that. I said, I know your service is worth something, and I appreciate you coming out in a hurry, but I was like, I'm not going to pay, a 200% markup or 300% markup, whatever the percentages on that. I was like, you got to, man, that's highway robbery. And I go, I feel legitimately that I should pay you $150. And he was like, into his spiel about, trying to justify the $350 charge for a $15 part. But he gave me a coupon, ended up giving me an instant rebate online coupon for $50. So I paid like $305 with tax for the little capacitor. And so I just want to pass this information along to somebody else. If their outdoor air conditioner unit is buzzing or humming and you're not getting cold air, it could be its capacitor. the capacitor here, you can kind of tell because it kind of bulges out of the top. That's a sign of a bad capacitor, and you know that it's just not being able, the compressor is not being able to start up. A capacitor stores a lot of power, and so the power coming out of your wall is not enough power to start the compressor. It takes a more voltage than what's available, and so the capacitor stores the extra amount of energy to help boost that real fast to get it to start. And so it just stores a bunch of power. So you definitely don't want to arc when you take this off. You don't want to arc between those. You know, don't put your finger on and arc them too, because these store power kind of like a flash battery. But I mean, if you just Google this stuff online, how to install that, you should be good. But let me show you exactly kind of what you need to do, and it's pretty simple to help you get to the part. Okay, so hang on real fast. Okay, first of all, you want to come back. Most of the air conditioner units outside will have a panel, you know, to keep it safe from the weather. But you'll open that up, and this is basically like a fuse or a breaker. And so you also have a breaker on your house, but this is a secondary breaker. So if your breaker's not flipped at the breaker box, then you'll take this out so your air conditioner doesn't start up while you're working on it. This just basically pulls out. You can set it right up here, and that turns the unit off. And then from what I saw from this gentleman working on it, he took off all the bolts right here. Very easy. I don't know if it's a 10 or a 12, maybe a 10 or 11. And you'll just remove that, and this pops out. This is just the motor under here and the fan. You definitely don't want this to start up while you're working on it. Took that off, and then he removed these bolts, and then he took off this panel, basically where the air conditioner equipment comes in, and it's right above, and the capacitor was right behind here, and it basically unbolts. It's pretty self-explanatory. The leads to the one that is that's in there, remove that and just replace it. And he had to just use a little bit of a custom setup with some I don't know, a plating, a wire metal plating that I had. He didn't have it, so I gave some to him, and he just made a little harness and then put that back in there. And now the air conditioner started right up. And again, he charged me $350 for a $17 part, you know, and a few dollars tax. So I just want to pass this along. If your air conditioner is buzzing outdoors and it's not starting up and it's not kicking on and it's not blowing cold air, this could be what is your problem. And don't be, you know, taken advantage of like me and pay $300 or $350 or $400 for a part that costs next to nothing. And so, yeah, I just want to be helpful. And, you know, leave a like, and some, you know, not necessarily to subscribe, but a like. Leave a comment if you're motivated to, and hit me up and say thank you, or that's horrible knowledge. Don't make videos anymore. That's fine. But again, have a great day, and I appreciate you watching. And hopefully your air conditioner doesn't go out in the middle of summer. Bye-bye.